Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Sheikh Awad, even though I understood nothing at all. I was just sitting there. Inshallah, it is a completion of yesterday's speech, if you haven't completed.
يا
There's
شيخ
something
قوس
to do
ما نبغى هذا
with
اللي يقي
the temptations which are ahead of the youth. And this is what we said yesterday in the speech. Today we are living in a society where temptations seem to be reaching at its peak. And we haven't yet come up with any kind of protection against all these things. And it seems that our youth now are diving in deep oceans of temptation, faith, and tribulations and all these things. So inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we point out to a couple of things which inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us overcome these kinds of things. They're going to be a symposium, it's going to be held by the sheikhs, and we'll be tackling these kinds of issues inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm not giving a long lecture regarding this. Another thing, there was a promise we made last year. I don't know if any one of you could remember it. Last year we said that it was the first annual conference of Ansar al-Sunnah. We said that the coming year, each one of us will work on conveying Islam to somebody who's not yet Muslim. So he's going to bring along, he's going to bring her along with him, with her, to the gathering, so that that person is going to take the Shahada here in front of all these beautiful faces. This is the promise we made last year. Anybody remembers this? Ma xusuusataan sanad hore inaan ku ballanay in mutamarka soo socda sida kii hore oo kale la soo kaxayn doono dad shahaadada qaata. Yaa xusuusta? Okay, inshallah, because nobody wants inay xujada ku oganto. Anyway, is there any yet Muslim who's with us today in the gathering who wants to take the Shahada? Ma jira qof la soo kaxeeyey oo maanta inuu shahaadada qaato rabo. Maxaa yeelay, when we have like these beautiful conferences, waa in conferencegu uu yeesho miro u yeesho. Mirihiisana waxaa ka mid ah qof soo islaama in la helo. San hore dad baa dadaalay, dad baa la soo kaxeeyey. Conferenceda meelaha kale aan ku qabana saasoo dad baa la soo kaxeeya. The reason meesha lagu sheegayo luqadda Swahiliga iyo English lagu sheegayo dadka meesha fadhiyo waa Soomaali. Ujeedada waxay tahay in aan hore u soo kaxayno dad heer islaamka u baahan oo runtii u haraadan in meesha la keeno. Runtii sanadka kale dabcan si sanadka hore inuu hadaan jeclaa. Laakiin I don't know if there is any yet Muslim who wants to take the Shahada. Inshallah, the sheikhs will be sitting backstage over there, so you can come inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yesterday's translation, that number one, if you want to be protected against what is called atheism, which is so hard among the youth. Now, if somebody comes and raises Islam and says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, we all burst into chanting takbir, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. But do we know that there are people from us, from a community where we're losing them day after night? Some who are apostating, some who are now embracing new ideas which are quite contrary to Islam. Some are now, spreading among the youth something which is against the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how can I protect myself against all these kinds of temptations? There is only one thing, which is to adhere to the Quran. Al-Quran is Allah is a strong rock, is a clear light, it's something that protects us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا, hold onto the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only when Islam addresses this, that it means that we all get to be united in one place, but the reason is that whenever there is some sort of, let us say, confusion, doubts, women's corpses and whatever, you name it, whatever you have it, there is only one thing that will cure you, will remit bidillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's going to be the Quran inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here if you just have a look at the biography of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were some doubts which being stirred by the hypocrites, by the non-Muslims. But the answers of those confusions which is being stirred could only come from the Holy Quran. When they said Prophet ﷺ was left alone and is not going to receive any revolution at all, there is a Quranic verse which says, مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Oh Muhammad, you haven't been left alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reveal to you. They're gonna come, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wahi. So if you have any doubt about anything, the only thing that can protect you is that you resort to the Holy Quran by reading it, going deep into it, having some contemplations on it, pondering on it, going deep into the ocean of the privilege that Quran does have, asking the little scholars, sitting with them, attending at these beautiful gatherings, participating in conferences like this. This will help us, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, adherence to the laws of Allah by coming up with good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ فَعَلُوا مَا يُوعَظُونَ بِهِ لَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُمْ أَشَدَّ تَثْبِيتًا. Had they done that which they have been told, that would have been better for them. وَأَشَدَّ تَثْبِيتًا, and that would keep them firm in Islam. The steadfastness that we're looking for could only be found in Islam. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. The third point is that making dua. Just make up, put your hands up into the air and offer supplication and say, oh Allah, guide me. There is a beautiful Quranic verse we have in Surah Al-Imran. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ, who can help me? رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنكَ رَحْمَةً إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابُ. Oh Allah, do not deviate our hearts. Do not make our hearts deviated after you guided us. So the Prophet ﷺ, even though he was a prophet, even though he was a messenger, even though he was receiving a revelation from the heaven, even though he's being talked to by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he used to say in his prostration, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulubi, thabbit qulubana ala din. Oh Allah, it is you who turns the heart up and down. So oh Allah, make my heart firm in Islam. If the Prophet ﷺ, who was the prophet, whose sins were forgiven, was doing that, what about me and you people? What about me and you, those who are very poor, those who don't have, beautiful deeds in their account? Another thing is, we just remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as you could. But by tongue, by heart, by, frustrating Allah, by offering or giving sadaqah to the needy people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا لَقِيتُمْ فِئَةً فَاثْبُتُوا وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. If you meet your enemy, remain there steadfast. And do mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Allah. So we're talking about somebody who is standing. Okay. We're talking about somebody who's in the battlefield, who's fighting against enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, despite that critical moment, when the person is, in such a bad situation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Do mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a lot. So that will enable us to remain firm in the battlefield, to remain firm when it comes to the winds of confusions, the winds of doubts, the winds of whims, the winds of desires, the winds of corpses. We will stand against all that. We will stand in a way that you cannot imagine. Another thing is that the reason why all those learned scholars are being invited to a gathering like this, and we have to sitting with them time from time, is that we ask them whatever doubts we have about Islam. Don't just say, okay, I went through the Holy Quran and I turned the pages one after another, then I came across a single Quranic verse which I don't understand what it means. So instead of you coming in front of people writing an article saying that Islam is like that, I've got a doubt about this Quranic verse, this Quranic verse that cannot go hand in hand with the contemporary situation of the world. Instead of you saying that, please sit and consult with a scholar. Sit and consult with a scholar. The scholar, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bifadlillahi jalla wa ala, will be able to at least help you understand what this Quranic verse means. And this is what the companions used to do. They never came up with interpretations from their own minds. They never went against Allah's law. They never interpreted the Quran in the way they wanna. They never interpreted the narration of Prophet ﷺ in the way they wanted. But what they did was that they went to the Prophet ﷺ. Oh Prophet, there is a Quranic verse that says so. So what is the meaning of this Quranic verse? We all know that Aisha radiallahu anha wa ardaha, when she came to Prophet ﷺ, she said, oh Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا, and you're going to be reckoned in a very easy manner. You're talking about huge and difficult things. And the Prophet ﷺ says, مَنْ نُوكِشَ فِي الْحِسَابِ عُذِّبَ. It doesn't mean like that, but if you are reckoned thoroughly, deeply, asking about every action, every word that you uttered, that's going to be some sort of, hell to you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to do it. Yes, she had some, misunderstanding with regard to the Quranic verse, in the contrary of a narration which she thought was somehow contradicting with the Holy Quran. But having asked the Prophet ﷺ, she found the right answer she was looking for. And this is a very important thing. Guys, in Allah فضل يسوي ما أنت طبعا موضوع مؤتمر حقيقي تم نقلناها لكن شو تقلك أنا وهاي وحلو يقان atheism. يا أيها إنما محمد كهل الجبني محاضرات كمالها من شو قلنا نحل كهل الجبني هلا تكذب هلا صومه هلا صلاة. لكن ما لها كمدونا مكلمين هي وحى براها بشدة ما أنت لو براها سؤال وحى صوب حقيقة عن صوم نحن إيشوميا عن زكاة نحن زكاة قلت إله أنا تجاه اللي يصير قلت إيش يكسرون مغضب وحصبح النوجة الحادية عالمة وحصبح ذي إيجيز أجد وصري إيجيز كاس مركب إنه ربها هي أقل معناه لما مركب بروفيسور إيش كل شيء أنجوه وأنا إذا سوبوحي أنا لا أرضي أنا دخل الله صوت كلامه هذا هذا المؤمن وين العذاب أنا أنت أصبح لي أرى first year of the college the second year of the college the third year of the college إنه قاتو فلسفي إنه بحث فلسفة مركو برتو يصيرون ديار سنين قرآن ما ديار سنة حديث ما ديار سنة بيسك ما ديار سنة نكن كهر جوجا أنا مسلم كأهينا طبعا ماشى شقوا جوجا شقين سو حلقة يابا إنه ما أنت المفروض تيجي ماث كي أما المفروض تيجي ساينسز كي سيد أبرت المفروض تيجي أم سيد أي تهاي but there is one person أو كجرا هل percentage بروحها كجرا الله ربك الإسلام كمركا لقى قبر هل كان مركا موضوع عم بحنها وأنا نجود الإمام دون تعلمات إيكاد الدونان الشباب بين الشهوات والشبهات وموضوع دمشق الدونان مرة دي أي scholars imagine that my time has been anyway. Let me read you the promise with you again. Let me read you the promise with you again. Okay, do we promise that we bring people who are not yet Muslims to the conference? Please, those of you who are ready to do that, put your hand up. Put your hand up. سنة كذا بطلان متى هاي إن أنصارك حينا ذات أنا مسلمين وما رزقنا. Okay, those who are willing to do that, put your hands up, guys. Put your hand. Sisters are not ready, maybe, or they may not have understood English. We are known إن مكاننا ذات أنا المسلمين هاي سنة تصوص صعبة أو إسلام كان ومشرح لماذا يشرح عن أين الإسلامان أجد كون منك أجيال تربية الموتين. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. نعمها قلتك. Put your hands up. أنا بفهم الإنجليز الصومالي كذا هودي.
أبوي كان ذا. يا. ما قصة الإسلام يا كم بلي.
والله لا داخل. We are planning inshallah next time. It's not want to be confined to the Somali community. It want to be confined to the Muslims. It will be for all. So those of brothers and sisters who do not understand our language, they should be brought here. They should be brought together so that we can tell them about Islam. In order for them to embrace Islam, to take the Shahada, we should do that. Jazakumullahu khairan. Say wa iyyak.